I'm going to take you step by step through assignment 2 and assignment 3 from week 2. But the first thing we're going to need to do is read the chapter 2, which in your Blackboard, there'll be for week 2, the required reading. You can go ahead and download that. Or, if you have the book, you can open up the book. If it's easier to follow along with the downloaded version, whatever is preferable to you. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. We're going to skip down to page 43, where it's 2.6. If we can follow along with this here, this creating a simple app, we should have no problem doing assignment 2 and assignment 3. Okay, this takes you step by step through how to use the forms. So the first thing we're going to do is, first, this is just telling you what we're going to be creating. And we're going to be creating this, but we're not going to worry about the image right now because we don't need to do that. We don't have the image to put on there. That's not part of either assignment, so we're just going to kind of skip the image part. So what we'll end up with is where it says a simple app up here, and it'll say welcome to C# programming in a way that looks like that, and there'll be a blue background. We're not going to worry about the image, okay? So the first thing we need to do is open our Visual Studio, and we're going to create a new app, and we're going to look for a Windows Form application, and we're going to make sure that it says C#, okay? So I'm going to open up my Visual Studio, create a new project, and for me, I've already used it, so it's up here on my recent, where it says Windows Form app and C#. But if we look on the list here, so say it wasn't over here, we can look in the list here to find it. So I'm just going to scroll down until I find it. And for me, it's right here, Windows Forms app and C#. So there's another Windows Form app here you can see that's in Visual Basic. We don't want that. We want C#. Oop. Okay, let's scroll back down. You can see there's another one, Windows Forms app, C# .NET Framework. We're going to be using the .NET Windows Forms app. It's still .NET Framework, so I don't really even know why there's two options, but this is the one that we want, Windows Forms app, C#, okay? And then we can give it a project name of whatever we want, because what we're going to be submitting for our assignments is a zipped app. We're going to keep the framework.net, okay? Do you want to overwrite the existing? For me, yes, I do, okay? So we're going to create this app here. You're going to name it whatever is easiest for you to find. And then when you actually submit the assignment, you're going to put it in a zipped folder that will have, you will name that folder with like your first and last name and the assignment, and however the instructor wants it. But for this, in Visual Studio, just name it whatever's easiest for you to find. So I think assignment 2 is going to be like Notepad, I believe. So you can name it Notepad, or you can, just follow along with this and then create another one for the assignment 2. So just name this whatever is easiest for you to be able to find it later. So you can see right now the first thing that happened when we created it was this popped up right here, Form 1. You can see it here. Now you should have your properties window open over here, and it might look a little different. Everything is kind of like pulled down so you can see appearance. That's all the stuff under it. But if not, I think you just go to view, and then I believe it's, let's see. That's toolbox. Maybe not. Tools. Huh. I thought it would be under view. Oh, right here, properties window. Okay, yeah, so if this isn't showing up for you for some reason, you do go to view, you go all the way down here to the bottom under properties window, and that's how that will show up for you. Okay, so if this is not showing up and you're like, I can't do anything, I don't even have that window, right? This is how you would open it, is just by clicking on properties window. Okay, so mine's already open. So, but if I were to close it, it's not on there. What do? You just go to view, properties window, and it'll come back up, okay? All right, so that's kind of, you'd be lost if you didn't have this window open. This is what we're going to really be working with, is this window here. Okay, so we'll go back to chapter 2. We know what we are going to have it look like in the end. We've created the project. And then the next thing it's showing us is the text in the form's title bar is determined by the form's text property. So they're showing you in this image the text property. Okay, and we're going to want to change that to a simple app. All right, so we're going to go to our Visual Studio. We're going to find where it says text over here on the left, and we can see right there, text. And then in bold it says form 1. Well, we're going to just click over here, and we're going to delete that form 1, and we're going to write a simple app, and then just click enter. And as you can see over here, a simple app is there instead of form 1. We've successfully changed the text property. All right. Now this is just showing, this is the title bar that we just changed with the text property. It now says a simple app. It's showing that these little white squares or dots can enable the sizing. I can change the sizing, but if you read the next page, it says we can also change the sizing under properties, which is not auto size here like you see, but it just size, maximum size, minimum size. Right here where it says size, I'll bring it up so you can see it a little better, size, and then it has these two numbers in bold. Okay, if I click on the box, you'll also see these two numbers down here. This is the size that it is right now. Okay, so if we want to change the size, we can do it multiple ways. We can either do it from inputting the size here. Let's see. And you can see that made it much shorter. Or we can change the size here. And we can see the size again down here. All right, so if we want to make it a certain size, it's really easy to do, right? So we're not gonna, so yeah, this is showing you the same thing. Down here you can see the size, you can change the size multiple ways, okay? For the Notepad and the Calendar, or assignment 2 and assignment 3, you'll be changing the size to what they say on the assignment. So we're not going to worry too much about that right now. All right, the next thing that they're going over is the back color property. Okay, and the back color is the background color. So we're going to change this background color to this light blue. So first we're going to find the back color property, which will be under appearance. Okay, so at the top it might look like this. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and expand the appearance, make sure the appearance is open and expanded, and we'll find back color here. And what you're going to do is over here on the right, you see control. We're going to click this little arrow for the drop down menu, and you can see this is a little bit different than what it's showing here. If you open this up under control on the back color, you kind of get this grid of colors. So over here you can see, hey, well that's not what I'm getting, right? This is not a grid. So how do you find that grid? Well, right now you're on system. So these are more like system colors and stuff, specifically like colors you'd be using for that. If you click on web, There are more colors you would use for like a website's, basic buttons and titles and things like that. But if you click on custom, that's where you're going to have your color palette grid come up. So if you want to follow along how it shows on here, you can just go ahead and click on that color, and under control you click that little arrow and you click custom. And we're going to click this lightest blue color here at the top. And as you can see right away, it gave it this background color of blue. Okay? And that's exactly what we want, this light blue background color. So it should say a simple app at the top and have a light blue background color. All right? We're going to keep going with this. We're going to find the label now, it says, okay? So for the label, we're going to find the toolbox. Actually, is there a label here? Yeah, I don't think that it's over here. I think you need to go to View, Toolbox, and then you can see there's a whole list of things to choose from. So we're going to choose label, right? That's what we want to do. We're going to add a label. So when we double clicked that, a label popped up here. Okay, and in order to change the label size, font, and all this, you'll see over here in the properties window again, we're on label 1, okay, because we're clicked on it over here, right? So if we're clicked on here, it's not going to show up. We need to be clicked on this box for label 1. So what we're going to do is, okay, we added the label. We're going to we are going to the auto size property. By default, the auto size property is set to true, so the label can update its own size to fit all of its text. So that means when we put in the text that we want, it will, which is down here somewhere. Yep, where it says text here. Let me scroll up a little bit. Text here, and then label 1. This is where we're going to enter our text. And what it's saying is by default, it automatically resizes this box to fit the text that we're going to input there, okay? If you change it to false, then that allows you to change the size, just like we can change the size of this with the little dots and things. We just stretch it, shrink it. We can do the same with this. If we change that property, the auto size property, so let's find the auto size property. Auto size. So if we were to change this right here, auto size, to false instead of true, that's when we would get those handles to make it bigger or smaller for this label 1. But we don't need to do that right now. But we are going to do this where it says you can center a control horizontally by selecting Format, Center in Form horizontally. So we're going to try to find that where it says Format. Let's see. Where would we find the format? Let's see. It would probably not be in accessibility. Don't see format in. Okay, behavior. No. Layout. Should be in layout, don't you think? I don't see it. Oh, location maybe. No. No, text align, top left. We're gonna go ahead and select this middle one. Top center is where we're gonna put it. I don't know. I cannot find the format though. We'll go back to that later. So what we did, oh right, so first we want to add the text. So the text that we want to add is welcome to C# programming. So let's go ahead and do that. Where it says text label 1, we're going to change that to welcome to C# programming. Okay, and we'll click enter, and then as you can see, it is it is stretched to fit the text here. But what we need to find is text align top center. It should be top center. I guess it doesn't matter because it's stretched to that. What am I missing here? Okay, well, we'll go back to that. Because see how it's like in the middle? So I can just drag it to be put in the middle. But I'm not sure where that is for the format center inform. Anyway, we'll go back to that. All right, so, okay, setting the labels font size. Okay, so the font, they're just showing you, I believe we want what it's already on, which is, yeah, that's what it's already on, but we'll go over that anyway. So we're going to go to the font, which is here. Let me scroll it up for you so I can see. Okay, the font, and we're going to go ahead and click this. Little dots here, ellipsis, I guess. And we're going to select the one that's already on, actually. That's the one that we want. We're going to keep it with that. Okay, but you could change it, you know, and you'll see. All right. I didn't change it. Symbol, sure, let's change it to symbol. Yeah. All right. Let's find the right one again, which is oops. Right here. Oh, here we go. That's the one that we want. All right, welcome to C# programming. Okay. And then what we want is, I thought we were gonna bold it or something, so let's go ahead and bold it. I don't know. It's okay, so now it's in bold. We're gonna want, I think, a different size though. 24. So I did it in regular. I guess I didn't bold it. So we'll change that. We're gonna do font size 24, but we're gonna do it in regular. Okay. Oh, and see how it went off the page, out of the box. So what are we gonna do about that? Oops. All right, this is where we want the text align property, which is, oh, it's image align. Okay. And this says top center. That is what we want, top center. Okay. Why is this not moving at all? It's not moving it. And let's look at how the end is supposed to be. So it's supposed to drop down to the next line. So let's see. Change the font. The text align is not working because I have it on auto, I think. So let's change that. Okay, where is it? Nope. Okay. Design. Oh, auto size. Okay, let's change this to false. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so welcome to C# programming, and we want this in the middle. It's still not going to the middle. Let's see. Right, that's good. Where it says text align, we want the top center. Top bottom. Okay, now I see. It's of the box. Okay. All right. So if I were to create this whole label over the entire thing, okay, you can see where it changes. All right, but we don't want to do that. We want to keep this label, the size of the text. Okay. All right, welcome to C# programming. Perfect. All right. So now we are going to, so this is taking you through the picture box, which we don't need. We're not going to be doing that right now. We don't need to do that. So now what we're going to do is, all right, they put the image on there. Great. We're going to save. Save all, which will save all the files that you need for it, and it'll save it under whatever you named this. Okay, so ours should look just like this, except no picture. So let's see, welcome to C# programming, and no picture. So theirs is a little bit, make sure this is in the middle, and we're gonna change the sizing just a little bit. Okay, and does ours look pretty close to that? Yes, it does. So if you can do this, you can follow along with assignment 2 and 3. So we're gonna close this. Okay, so assignment 2 and assignment 3. So this says assignment 2 is exercise 2.7 in your book. So for this, you are going to need your book. So I have the book digitally, so we can go ahead and follow along by looking at the exercises of chapter 2. Okay, sign back into my account. All right, chapter 2. Exercises, and we're gonna do, let's see, 2.7 is assignment 2. That's what we're gonna start with, 2.7. So 2.7 is the notepad, okay? All right, so we're going to do what we just did using forms, okay? But we're going to do it a little different. We're going to add a menu strip, we're going to have a text box, and we're going to use different colors. So first it says, change the text property of the form to my notepad. So it just says my notepad up here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Oops. View, properties window, why is it? Because I have to click on the box. So I was confused there for a second because it wasn't showing up. It's because I wasn't actually clicked on the form. You need to be clicked on the form in order for this to show up, okay? All right, so we're going to change the text right here where it says a simple app, okay? Text, a simple app. We're going to change that to my notepad, okay? And you can see it says my notepad now. And we're going to make sure that it is the font. Yep, change the font to 9 point, which I think it already is, actually, so we don't need to change anything for that. Yeah, 9 point. Yep, that's right. So we already have that on there. But if you don't, you can go ahead and change that now to 9 point. And we just do that right on the, click on the box. Okay, we just do that right on where it says font. Okay, that's where you're going to be able to change that. All right, so we have the font. Okay, adding a menu strip control to the form. Add a menu strip to the form. So if we remember how we added a label, we can do the same thing. So we're going to do view toolbox, and then we're going to go ahead and add the menu strip, okay? Oops, so view toolbox, menu strip, okay? Just not the context menu strip, just the regular menu strip, okay? We're just going to double click it. It's now on there. We are going to add items like file, edit, view, and about, okay? File, edit, view, about. So it should look something like that once we've created it. So we're going to look for the type here section, okay? So where it says, oh, no, we want the menu strip. So go ahead and click on the menu strip, which you can't see right now, but that's okay. We are going to click on the what are we clicking on? Type here, okay. I don't see a type here. Let's just go ahead and change this background to none right now so we can see it a little bit easier. Oh, that's just for the menu strip. Okay, let's change this background to none right now so you can see it a little bit easier. Okay, and then click back on here. We'll change this just so we can see it a little bit easier. Okay, so let's just move this. There we go. Okay, so you can see here. Okay, now you can see where it says type here. And we're just going to add these file, edit, view, and about. Okay? So we'll do File here, and then Edit, and then let's see, View and About. Okay, we'll do View. Oops, did not show up. Okay, View and About. Okay, so now we can see we have that menu strip here at the top. File, Edit, View, and About. Okay. So what we're going to do next, so we're going to delete this label first of all. We don't need this label even in here. Okay. So we can just delete it. Okay. I don't know. I just clicked delete and deleted the text, not the actual label itself. Okay, we're just not going to worry about that for right now though. So what we're going to do is enter a rich text box will be the next thing. Adding a rich text box to the form. Drag this control onto the form, and then you can use resizing handles to resize the position of it. Okay. So add rich text box. We'll go to View, Toolbox, and we can just search rich text box. Okay, and we'll just drag it over here. All right, there's our rich text box. What we're going to do is enter text here is what we're going to type in the rich text box. Okay, we're going to fill this with the text box so that you can, this whole area here, you'll be able to enter text in. So for our text box, we are going to write text, enter text here. Okay, and as you can see, enter text here. Perfect. Okay, so now it says I wonder if it says what color to make it or anything. No, I guess that's it. Doesn't say what color to make it or anything like that. So let's go ahead and see the output of it. And this is what it looks like. My Notepad, File, Edit, View, About, enter text here, enter text here. We can delete the enter text here and type whatever we want. Right? And then these don't actually do anything. Okay, they're just labels. You can't actually save or anything. But you can imagine if you were to do this further, you can obviously add File, you click on it, and there'll be a drop-down menu and things like that. Now we can also make it a little bit better by, well, let's see. Alright, so we could kind of give it like a gray background to make it kind of just look a little bit neater. You certainly don't have to though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this text box. Okay, I don't know why that's there. Must begin with uppercase characters. What must begin with uppercase characters? Okay, anyway. Oh my goodness, okay. I just wanted to bring this up a little bit. And then we're going to add the background color as this gray. So I'm going to kind of try to get the enter text to start right where the F in file is, or as close as I can get anyway. Okay. Oh, no, okay. There we go. And then give this similar spacing over here. Alright, that's... And similar spacing at the bottom, so just a bit more. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is click on this whole box. View, properties window, background color, back color. Let's do the gray. Alright, now let's see what it looks like. Oops. Okay. Do you want to stop debugging? Yes, because I would like to. Do it again. Alright, so now this is what it looks like. It kind of has this gray border around it, and you can enter the text here. So it just kind of looks just a little bit better, in my opinion, than just having kind of the white box under it. But you don't need to do that. Okay, so this is assignment 2, my notepad. That's all you have to do. Alright, so what you're going to do now is you can stop debugging. You're going to save all. Okay, save all. Alright, and then what you're going to want to do is close out of this, because you can't get to it when it's running. You're going to go to your, wherever you saved it, make sure that it opens up, you have it saved. I'm making sure this is the right one, because I did have one before this. Alright, and that looks like it's saved. So again, we're going to close this. Okay, we're going to go back to, so I have mine saved. I saved mine to the documents on my computer so that it's easier for me to get to. So what you're going to do is, we don't need to add anything to this. So what you're going to do is compress to zip file, and then you're going to name this zip file however the instructor prefers it. I think it's like your first name, and then underscore, your last name, and then underscore the exercise and assignment, whatever. I don't know, however she wants you to do it. That's what you're going to do here under the zipped folder. And then that's what you're going to send to her, to the instructor, okay? We're not going to worry about all that right now. We are going to open up Visual Studio again. We're going to do create new project, and we're going to do the same thing with the Windows Form app with C#, okay? So I'm going to do this one, assignment 3. You could do calendar if you wanted. We're going to keep the .NET framework. Alright, we'll wait for that to load up. Alright, so we have our form on here. We have our properties window open over here. We're going to go to the next exercise, 2.8, which will be a calendar. Okay, so what we're going to do is change the text property to my scheduler. So let's go to the text right here. Text, instead of form 1, we're going to do my scheduler. I'm just going to put calendar. My scheduler, and then change the font size to, that's already the default font size, so we don't need to do that. And set the form size property to 275 by 400. I think that's too small. You can see if you click on this, the bottom here, it's like 700 by 508. So we want 275 by 400. So let's see. 275. As you can see, you can't even see the word calendar anymore. So we're not going to do that. Well, let's do like 425 maybe by, let's just, yeah, all right. So you can see there's kind of more space up here. So it says my scheduler, and then it has those three. So mine just says calendar. So let's change mine again. So instead of calendar, I will write my scheduler. Okay, my scheduler. And see, there's not really much room there, so we'll make it just a little bit wider. Okay, so this is now 455. And we want it long enough to fit everything that we're going to want it to fit. So this says 400, but I think it really needs to be like 800. So I don't really know why the numbers are kind of off on there, because it wouldn't fit otherwise. Oh, maybe 800 is too big too. We'll see. It doesn't matter. We can change it as we go. So first we're going to add labels to the form. And we're going to add two labels. One is labeled calendar and the other is labeled appointments. Okay, so remember to set the auto size property to false, because we want to change the size of these. Okay, so we're going to add two labels to the form. So we're going to add the labels by view, toolbox, and then label. Label, we're going to do a label. And is there label 1 and a label 2. So we're going to do label 1 should say calendar. So we're going to click on label 1. Oh, geez. On label 1. So it says over here in properties, we're on label 1. Okay. We're going to change that label to say calendar. Okay. So now it says calendar. The second label will say appointments. So we'll click on label 2. Make sure it says label 2. And we're going to change this to appointments. Okay. Now this will be somewhere at the bottom because we will have a calendar here. What we're going to do is change this to not, we're going to change it from true to false for the auto size here. We're going to change that to false for the auto size because we want to make this go across the whole top. Same with this. We're going to change this auto size to false, and we're just going to go ahead and drag it across the top. Okay. All right. And then use 12-point font. Also use back color property to yellow. So we'll go up here to the font. Let's find that right here. We're going to change the font to, what did they say, 12? 12 point, yep, 12-point font. So we're going to change this to 12-point font. Okay, yep. We're going to do the same with the first label. Change it to 12-point. Okay. Calendar appointment. So that's looking nice, right? And then we're also going to change the back color of the labels. Okay, not the back color of the form, but the back color of the labels to yellow. So let's make sure we're on a label. And we're going to choose the back color. We're going to go ahead and click custom, and we're going to choose yellow. And that's kind of like a really light yellow. You can change it to this kind of bright highlighter yellow. I think looks a little bit better than the pale. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and just make sure they're both the same. It really doesn't matter. If it's yellow, you'll get credit for it, okay? Alright, so they kind of look like highlighter yellow. Then we are going to add a monthly calendar to the form. So, and we're going to put it between the two labels, so it'll go under here under calendar. So we're going to go to view, toolbox, and calendar is what we're going to add. Yeah, month calendar. So you can just drag it over here. Oh, there we go. Oh, we'll put it right here in the middle, and that looks perfect sizing. We're going to try to make sure it's centered in the middle as best we can. Okay. There we go. Alright. Add a monthly calendar to the form. Add a rich text box to the form also, and resize it accordingly. We're going to put the rich text box will go under the appointments, and we'll move the appointments up just a little bit. Alright, so we're going to add again view, toolbox. We're going to delete this. We're going to add the rich text box, and we'll just drag it over here and put it on here. And we're going to stretch it out to the entire bottom here. Okay. And then this rich text box, let's copy that. Oops. And then this text box is just going to be empty. Okay. So let's see how it looks. My scheduler, and we have calendar and appointments. So let's see if we run it, what the final app will look like. Alright, so again, if we want to kind of add like some kind of padding or anything to it, we can do that. So this looks like it's almost kind of hanging off here at the bottom. This should just be to type notes and appointments here. Okay, you know, that's what that space is for. But so it looks kind of not perfect, right? So let's go in and change it just a little bit. So this clearly has no padding over here. We want that to be lined up to the calendar here. So you see both sides, it's not lined up to the calendar. Let's go ahead and check it out now. Alright, so it's kind of got these paddings. Now the bottom's kind of hanging down. We'll give that a little bit of padding at the bottom as well. Alright, now let's run it again. Oops. Let's stop running it. Okay, and then run it again. Alright, I think it's just, maybe we need to make the whole thing a little bit wider. So there's kind of a little bit of padding around the calendar. You don't have to do that. I'm just trying to make it look a little better. So we'll do this. We'll put this all the way across the top. We're just gonna center this. Yep. And then match it up. We're gonna drag the label all the way across. See how it looks now. Alright, now let's see it. Alright, so that looks just, in my opinion, a little bit better because there's just a little bit of padding around the calendar and the appointments. Let's see. So actually in here it kind of shows padding around the whole thing, so let's change that a little bit too. You don't have to, you're not going to get points off or anything, but I am going to just kind of have this start where the boxes start, and we'll still have it go all the way across. And let's see how that looks. Yeah, maybe we won't have it go all the way across. That looks kind of weird to me. Alright, so we're just gonna line everything up with the labels and the calendar and the box. Now this, let's bring this down just a little bit so it still has that little bit of padding, but not too much. Alright, let's see how it looks now. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. Maybe even just put a little bit of extra space in between the two, but I think that looks pretty good. You're not going to get points off, like if you don't have, you know, if it looked how it originally did. She's going to look, do you have these two labels? Do you have the calendar on there? Do you have the rich text box on there? Do you have this label up here? You know, you're not going to get points off, and if it doesn't look great or anything. I have a lot of, like, I think I really want it to look its best, so I worry probably too much about that. But this, you should get full credit for your assignment stuff if you know how to, if you were able to follow along with both of these. And again, you'll just save it, save all, so it saves all of the files, so the ones that you can't see. Okay, like this, and you're like, what the heck is that, right? You don't need to worry about that for the form. It's pretty simple for doing the form. Now the other assignments won't be using the form, and you will be coding more and things like that. So if you need help with any other assignments, definitely reach out to me. I can kind of do the same, like, step-by-step guidance for you. But that's it for assignment 2 and assignment 3. Again, you should be able to find it. So for me, I save it under my documents. So assignment 3, again, you're just going to click on it. You're going to click compress to a zip file, and then you're going to label that file how the instructor wants us to label it, which I believe is right here. Example. So we can go ahead and just copy paste.
First last exercise 2.7.
Alright, sorry about that. My keyboard is set to... Okay, so we'll copy paste and then we just fill in... Oops. Oh, I did not mean to do that. So, first, last... Okay, here we go. So, we'll just fill in your first name here, your last name here. The exercise is 2.8 for assignment 3. And then this is assignment 3, okay? So exercise 2.8, and I'm gonna put assignment because that's how it's labeled in Blackboard. Assignment 3, okay? And then it's zipped. And then that's what you'll save that, and then that's what you'll, I'm just going to save there so I know it's not my actual one. Alright, and then that's what you will upload. So you go to assignment 2, and then you will, I've already uploaded mine obviously, but you'll click upload, and then you'll search it in your file and upload it there. Alright? So again, if you have any questions, just reach out to me again for if you need help with other assignments or you couldn't do something on this, just reach out to me. I really hope that this helped you. You can always email me. Sorry I didn't have time to sit down and do a Zoom with you. That would have been better. I just didn't know how your schedule would be. If you still would like to do a Zoom with me so we can go over stuff like live, I'm definitely open to that. I think you said like you are at the libraries on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you want to just contact me like on Monday or something, if you want to, or I can even meet you at the library. I do live here in Grand Rapids. So yeah, just reach out to me if you need any more help, or if you just still didn't understand how to do it or couldn't find the things to do, just reach out to me. All right, hope this helped you. Bye.